Hey everyone, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Susan. ModCloth is an e-retailer of independently designed fashion and decor. We started the website back in 2002. I was 17 at the time, and my business partner Eric was 18 at the time. And we started out by just selling one-of-a-kind vintage pieces, so things that I would find at thrift stores, estate sales, that kind of thing. We now carry over 700 independent designers. We are funded by First Round Capital, Floodgate, Excel, Harrison Metal, and Jeff Floor, former CEO and founder of StubHub. Last year, Inc. magazine named us the #2 fastest growing private company in the US. And our growth is really representative of a larger trend in retail that I'd like to talk about today. That is the rise of social commerce. So for the purposes of this discussion, I'm just going to talk about what this has meant for the fashion industry. And I'm really going to focus on the fact that social commerce is really just part of a much larger trend in retail. So to begin with, let's take a look at their traditional retail model, which is very, very top-down. We have the buyers and merchants at the top of this pyramid at the large retailers. So they're deciding what the trends are. Then the retailers use aspirational mass marketing to push those trends out to the public. They then utilize a large brick-and-mortar footprint to push those goods out the door to the consumers. Now, they're utilizing such large economies of scale that if they guess and get the trend wrong, they can usually support it with massive markdowns. And I say usually because, as you probably know, these traditional retailers haven't been doing so well in the last few years. So I was introduced to this traditional retail model at a very young age. This is me, budding fashionista. My first fashion memory was playing dress-up in my grandmother's closet. She had so much great stuff because she used to work at Strawbridge's. Strawbridge's, for those who don't know, was a regional department store chain in the Northeast, and it has since been acquired by Macy's, like almost all the other regional department store chains. But Strawbridge's really epitomized that traditional retail model. Getting older, growing up in South Florida, as a teenager, I spent a lot of time at the mall. And as you can see here, this Google Maps snapshot of my neighborhood, I had a lot of malls to choose from. What can I say? It's really hot in South Florida. It's really humid. Sometimes you just got to stay inside. So as a teenager at the mall, I spent a lot of time there, and I started to see the decline of the department store and the rise of the specialty retailer. But I also noticed that all of these malls had the same specialty retailers over and over and over again. And none of them really appealed to me and to who I was and to my lifestyle and who I wanted to be as a teenager. So this and the fact that I didn't have a lot of disposable income led me to thrift stores and vintage stores and eventually to the birth of ModCloth. Because on the internet, all these weird, cool, quirky products that I was finding at thrift stores could actually find a customer and find a home. It was around this time that the first community-powered marketplace also appeared. That was eBay. And this was really the beginning of the decentralization of fashion on the web. But for us, instead of selling on eBay, we decided to start our own brand to really cultivate a community around the vintage-inspired lifestyle. Also, at that time on eBay, it wasn't really a great experience for discovering vintage and other aesthetically driven products. At that time, it just wasn't that great. So as I'm thinking about the rise of social commerce, it's really about this progression from department store to specialty retailer to the advent of Web 2.0 and the social networks that have allowed long-tail, community-oriented retailers like ModCloth to actually be sustainable. On the social networks, Twitter, Facebook, in the fashion space, Chictopia, and Polyvore, customers are able to actually interact with each other, and we're seeing a whole new level of transparency into retailers' behaviors. Now, customers can not just interact with each other, but they can also interact with brands on a very personal level. And for retailers, it's easier than ever to find communities of like-minded individuals and then bring product to market that they'll love through this better understanding of who they are and what makes them tick. I think we're going to start to see retailers using the interest graph that sits on top of the social graph that is Facebook to launch a wave of new community-oriented e-retail brands. So when I think about this intersection of Web 2.0 and e-retail, this is what we're calling social commerce. So rather than orienting around a category of goods like these brands, social brands are oriented around an existing community or lifestyle. And I think the ones that are really going to succeed are going to be the ones that let their customers participate and truly give them a sense of ownership in the brand because they've helped to shape it. So this changes the role of like a Facebook fan page for a brand. So at ModCloth, our fan page is all about letting our customers interact with each other, inspire each other, help each other, and of course we participate in that conversation, but we do so on a very personal level. It's important that these communications are personal and not corporate. This isn't just another marketing channel for social brands, and you can't treat it as such. So of course there are the more traditional aspects of social retail, like photo reviews and ratings. At ModCloth, we thought that reviews were such an important part of the shopping experience that we built our system in-house. And for us, we really wanted to give our customers the opportunity to give us feedback, and more importantly, to give each other feedback on our products. Because really, how much easier is it to buy this dress when you can see it worn on so many unique body types with so many different styles? I mean, it's just a lot easier. So for social brands, though, it's about going beyond reviews, and it's about collaborative contests and programs that truly get the customer involved and engaged. A good example of this at ModCloth is our Name It and Win It program. So just to give you a little background, at ModCloth, every single product has a unique name and sort of personalized, fun, well-written description. It's something that we've been doing since the very beginning of the brand, and it sets us apart from our competitors. We're very well known for it in the space. And when we turn this process over to our customers, we let them name the products. We see huge engagement. We get thousands of suggested names per product. But more importantly, the customer gets to be a mod fashion writer, even if just for a few minutes. And they get to participate in something that's become a hallmark of our brand. And if they win, they get recognized not only by us, but by their peers for their creativity and smarts. We also have a program called Be the Buyer, where we work with our independent designers to get unproven design samples and put them in front of our customers for real feedback before they've committed to production. So this is taking that traditional retail model and essentially flipping it on its head. Rather than us saying, okay, here's the trend, this is what you have to wear, the customers are telling us what they like and what they don't like. Even better, they're getting to interact with each other and with the designer directly on these design concepts. For our customer, fashion is such an important part of her life, her lifestyle, and her identity. It only makes sense that for something so personal that she'd want to have her opinion heard and she'd want to give her opinion. She is going to be the new trendsetter. This is great for customers. They're going to be getting more products that they love, and it's great for retailers too, but only if they actually embrace this change and listen to what she has to say. At ModCloth, we think this is only the beginning. We're building our own platform on Ruby on Rails to truly blur the lines between customers, designers, and the retailer in between. So as this leader-follower dynamic is changing, it's more important than ever for brands to engage with their communities, find the tastemakers and leaders within them. The brands that are really going to succeed here are going to be the ones that leverage their communities and find aspirational advocates. At its core, Web 2.0 is just about a new set of tools to allow us to interact and understand our customer better. Technology is powering the social commerce revolution, but it's the communities that are driving it. And I think this is so exciting. It's opening up a whole new world for independent fashion designers, for sure. We're going to see a bunch of new community-oriented e-retail brands. It's great for entrepreneurship. But this isn't just about fashion. It's really about any type of personal expression that's worth sharing. Oh. Well, I'm at Susan G. Koger on Twitter, and you can find ModCloth at modcloth.com and at ModCloth on Twitter. Thanks so much.